Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Welcome to a new day. How are you doing? How's everything in your world? It's a nice sunny day today, a little bit cold, but I just love this changing seasons. We've talked about this a lot, so I'm super happy that the weather is just nice and clear and get to go out for some nice walks today. Do you go out for a walk during the day? Do you try to get out into the world? I really enjoy my walks. It's my favorite activity. And I just I'm very fortunate. I live in a beautiful place, but there's beauty everywhere. It's so funny. Somebody sent a message the other day and said something about they were in Lisbon and how boring it was or something. There was some comment about the weather. And I thought, oh my gosh, Lisbon. It's just so beautiful. And we do take for granted, don't we, the places that we live. Anywho, here we are, and I'm having my morning cup of tea. I've got a confession to make. I've been pronouncing this name wrong. It's Pukka tea. It's a UK company I discovered, and I bought this new one the other day. It's called, Charmant Cassis, and it's in German, of course. So it's basically made out of really cool ingredients, some of my favorites. Blackcurrant is the main one. Then it's got orange peel. It's got beets and also hibiscus flower, which I really, really like. And it says it envelops you in a deep red fruit delight. I love how these tea companies just kind of bring to life the tea experience. And of course, we know from our nutrition studies that anything red in nature, in terms of fruit, is good for you. So beetroot, hibiscus, all the berries. So it's a nice tea, and I've got it in a new little mug that I bought at the the recycling place. Isn't that cool? Got a lipstick on there. Anyway, there it is. So hopefully you're having a cup of tea or coffee as well, and just enjoying a new day. I want to share with you a trip down memory lane today. I want to go down memory lane with you. Stephanie Raffelock, one of our bloggers, wrote an article about the newest best thing is actually the old best thing. And she was inspired to write this by an ad she saw for Book of the Month Club. It was apparently an ad on TV, and I've never seen this ad. I don't have a TV for one thing, but if you've seen it, that would be great to mention. But basically, it was an ad on television today talking about the joys of reading. And I don't know about you, but my life was surrounded by books when I was young. I just would read literally one book after the other. I just loved to read. My summers were just reading time. And when I was a kid, I used to just read the series, Nancy Drew and the Bobbsey twins, and I'm aging myself, but so what? It's really cool. These were books that I loved, the spy books, and also books, I guess, about role models and for women. And I think that at some point, as Stephanie suggests, we all drop our cell phones in a basket, just put our feet up on the sofa and just read a book. And I don't know whether you have noticed, though, the resurgence in boomer movies, themed shows that are really coming back into fashion and being redone for our new audience. But anyway, do you remember books as part of your life as a child? Or even as an adult, perhaps still. And I think it's something that we perhaps forget. I remember watching black and white TV. I mean, that's where I started my entertainment experience. And it never really took me away from my books. I always would go back to the color that I saw in reading. And I guess my imagination provided all the vibrant color that black and white TV didn't. But my house was filled with books. Maybe yours was as well. And then I remember when my sons were older, I actually gave them books, like a book of the month as a gift for several different Christmases. One was for Nathan. It was the greatest books of all time. And the idea was that over, I think, 40 weeks, he would get a book for his collection. And then I think for James, I did a different series, but it was books that I really thought they would treasure. And at that point, there were books, like real books, everywhere on my shelf. So it was like, there's never going to be digital. What is digital? And so I thought they'd love these collections of books. And of course they did while they were receiving them as teenagers and young men, but then of course they were donated, and as they should have. I mean, why keep books? They're all online today. But, it was really interesting that was that was to me and to them a perfect gift. It was such a welcome gift. They loved it. They look forward to their book that arrived every month. But, just not the same anymore. And Stephanie's really sweet. She talks about her childhood Sundays. Childhood Sundays were curled up on the sofa. Everybody had their chair or their little nook in the living room where they would curl up with a book, pancakes for breakfast, she said, stay in her jammies all day, and just basically reading books. I just think that is how I spent a lot of my Sundays as well. How about you? Bring back memories. Oh, it's so, anyway, books are so evocative, and they just do take you places that are amazing. I think that, first of all, they're quiet and thoughtful. And this is what Stephanie starts with, that they're a way to go inside yourself, to look at the parts of yourself that maybe you don't allow, to be seen by other people. That's your private place, your imagination. And to contemplate the world around you in a different way, see it differently, and to really feel like you're discovering something new for the first time. Maybe it just reflected more thoughtful times. And, now that that book of the month is coming back, it's that longing, that longing for books to take us places, to take us on journeys that are in our own hearts and minds. And another thing that Stephanie points out is that in this world that, just throws information at us so forcefully, with news, breaking news, it's just this drama of sound all around us. Books deliver messages and information, but they do it in a way that's just more thoughtful. And there's just like not this desire to solve every problem. It's like figure it out. Like read a historical book and see how, as a society, as a country, we dealt with issues in the past and whether it's going to come through, or someone's interpretation of an event. It just gives you a different lens on current events, I think. So I think that's a really good second thing about books, that the old is coming back to the new. Now, there is an upside to technology, of course, and particularly as it relates to books. I use Audible. I have probably 4 or 5 books almost going at one time on Audible, and audible.com. And I have a subscription. I think it's about $10 a month, and you can download a book that would normally cost 3 times that amount, and you put it in your library on your phone, and then when you're walking or on the train, which I often do, you can listen to a book. Because I don't know about you, but on trains and buses, I have a hard time looking down. Like I get dizzy when I look and read a book. So I love my Audible books on technology. Stephanie also talks about a service in the States. I don't think it's available elsewhere in the world. It's called Libby. This is a really cool service, and I wonder if you are familiar with Libby. I tried to load it on my phone, and it didn't work, so I don't know personally how it works, but Stephanie does, and she loves it. What you do, you download Libby on your phone, Libby, and it prompts you to enter your library card number wherever you are in the world, in the United States. Perhaps Canada too. But you have then, once you give them your library book number, you can download thousands of books from libraries all around the country. So you don't have to go physically to the library. You can just download Libby, put in your library card number, and then check out books virtually. Isn't that a cool idea? I think it's really cool. And I don't know whether it's available in other parts of the world. Doesn't appear to be in Switzerland, but maybe in the UK. Have you tried to use Libby? I just think it's great, and you can check it out for like 2 weeks, I guess. So it's libbyapp.com, LIBBYAPP.com. That's the website. Thanks for that lead, actually, Stephanie. That's a very, very good one. Anyway, I think that back to the original stimulation for this story was Stephanie seeing this ad for Book of the Month Club. And I personally love brands that don't give up on in the light of technology, who say, well, we're not the same as we were. We're not a book in the traditional sense, but we are a book. and we're going to relaunch our book of the month. And whatever, there's so many people who still love books, and the physical book is making a comeback. So I'm happy that to share this insight with you. So as I said, I've given books to my sons throughout their lives. I continue to. They continue to read them and donate them. It's okay. There's just something about handing someone a book. It's wrapped in special paper and from your heart. And I think from an inspirational perspective, they're good to have just tucked under your pillow or in your backpack for those quiet moments. Anyway, did you grow up in a family that subscribed to Book of the Month Club or to other of these kind of traditional services? I'd be really interested to know what you did as a child that you remember fondly and perhaps is coming back. I think that'd be really interesting. Anywho, hope this has been a great chat. I've enjoyed reading it and checking out books in my mind that I used to enjoy reading, and would love your feedback. But I do want to remind you before I go to say, well, first of all, thank you. I say it every time, and I do honestly from my heart mean it every time. Thank you for being here at 60andMe. Thanks for your support and for your love and the love you give each other. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the circle going. Hold hands and just give each other support. It's important this time, especially right now. Tell a friend about 60andMe and send them off to 60andme.com/start. That tells you all about what we do, all our different channels. And you should check it out too if you haven't already. A lot of you are watching just through YouTube and maybe don't even know we have a website, 60andme.com/start. All words. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. And tell us, did you grow up in a family that had a subscription to Book of the Month Club or some other service? I'd love to know what your childhood was like. All right, everybody, well, have a wonderful day. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye-bye for now.